We all think we know the Amazon. We picture this huge green jungle and a river that's just massive. But its greatest secrets, they aren't just hidden in plain sight. They're buried deep, deep beneath it, in layers of time and water and earth.
See, this isn't just any old river. It's a system so huge that some people basically call it a planet all by itself. It's a river that literally shifts its identity as it flows, that has these clashing colors that just refuse to mix, and, believe it or not, it's a river that can be forced to flow completely backward by the power of the ocean.
But hold on, that's not even the craziest part. What if I told you there was another river, a kind of ghost river, flowing silently in the dark, 4 kilometers directly below the Amazon itself? Okay, let's dive into this.
So to really get a grip on the Amazon's secrets, you first have to understand its scale, which is just almost unbelievable. When the first European explorers got there, they didn't even think it was a river. They were absolutely convinced they'd found an ocean.
And you can totally see why. During the rainy season, the Amazon can swell up to an incredible 48 kilometers wide. That is so wide that if you're standing on one bank, you can't see the other side at all. It's just gone, lost over the horizon. So it's no wonder the locals just call it the River Sea.
Now check this out. This number represents some serious power every single second of every single day. A staggering 1/5, yep, 20%, of all the fresh water that flows into all the world's oceans comes from this one river system alone. And this just puts it in perspective. Go ahead and take the next 7 biggest rivers on the planet. We're talking the Congo, the Ganges, the Orinoco, all of them. Add all their water together, and the Amazon still dumps more water into the ocean than all of them combined. It's really in a league of its own. But for all its unbelievable size and power, there's one title the Amazon has always had to fight for: the longest river in the world. And trust me, it's a debate that has been raging for a very long time. For years, all the school textbooks were pretty clear. The Nile is number 1 at about 6,650 kilometers long, and the Amazon is a close second at 6,400. But, well, that's not the whole story. Scientists in South America, using satellite mapping, argue that if you trace the Amazon all the way back to its true, most distant source, way up in the Andes Mountains, its length just balloons to almost 7,000 kilometers, which would easily make it longer than the Nile. The jury is officially still out on that.
And, the river doesn't just have one identity, it has a bunch of them. Near the city of Manaus, you can see one of nature's most incredible sights. The dark, almost black water of the Rio Negro meets the muddy, coffee with cream-colored water of the Amazon. And for hundreds of kilometers, they just refuse to mix. They flow side by side like 2 separate highways. So why does this happen? Well, it's because their temperatures, their speeds, and their densities are so completely different, they just can't merge right away.
But the river story isn't just about what we can see today. To really get it, we have to go back in time, into the echoes of worlds that have been lost for ages.
So get this river's story starts hundreds of millions of years ago, back on the supercontinent of Gondwana. Back then, it actually flowed west, from what's now Africa into the Pacific Ocean. It was only when the South American continent broke away and the gigantic Andes Mountains started to rise up that the river's path was blocked, forcing it to completely reverse course and flow east into the Atlantic.
And the world it flowed through back then? It was home to giants. Seriously, forget anacondas. 60 million years ago, the top predator here was the titanoboa. Fossils found in a coal mine in Colombia revealed a snake that was 15 meters long and weighed over a ton. It was so big, it literally hunted giant crocodiles for dinner. For centuries, the thinking was that the soil in the Amazon was just too poor to support big, complex societies. Turns out, we were completely wrong. Using this amazing laser scanning tech called LiDAR, which basically lets archaeologists see right through the dense jungle canopy, they discovered the remains of the Kasarabe culture. These people built a whole network of cities with 22-meter-high pyramids and miles of raised roads, all thriving over 1,000 years ago. The Amazon's connection to its ancient, powerful past isn't just buried under the ground. No, it's a living, breathing force, and you can see it in one of the river's most bizarre modern phenomena. Twice a year, every March and September, something truly wild happens. A massive tidal wave from the Atlantic Ocean, sometimes up to 4 meters high, surges right into the mouth of the Amazon. This wave is called the Pororoca, and it's so powerful, it actually forces the mighty river to flow backward for miles and miles. It even draws surfers from all over the world who try to ride this wave deep into the jungle.
But even a river flowing backward has got nothing on its biggest secret.
This is a discovery that completely rewrites the geography of the whole region. I'm talking about the Ghost River, flowing in total darkness. Right when scientists thought they had the whole basin mapped out, they started looking at seismic data and temperature readings from deep oil wells, and they saw an anomaly. Something was flowing 4 kilometers beneath the Amazon riverbed.
And the answer is the Rio Hamza. It was discovered in 2011, named after the lead scientist on the team. Now, it's not a river like you and I would picture. It's a colossal, incredibly slow-moving flow of groundwater, just seeping through porous rock. But it perfectly mirrors the path of the Amazon way up above it.
And this comparison just shows you how different they are. They're like these mirror images, but total opposites. While the Amazon can be up to 48 kilometers wide, the Hamza is immense, possibly up to 400 kilometers wide. But its flow is unbelievably slow, moving just millimeters per second, and its total volume is just a tiny fraction of the river above. So one is fast and narrow, the other is vast and slow. So the discovery of the Rio Hamza really just confirms one simple truth. The Amazon isn't just a river. It's an ongoing, unsolved mystery. I mean, when you put it all together, what you have is just a world of questions. We're still debating how long it really is. We've seen it defy its own current. We've found the ghosts of entire civilizations we didn't even think could exist there. And now we've found a whole separate, hidden river flowing in the darkness right underneath it. It seems like every answer we find just leads to more, bigger questions. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With a secret river flowing below it, lost cities hidden in its forests, and a history that stretches back to a time before our continents even looked the way they do now. What other astonishing secrets is the Amazon still keeping from us?